Hi guys, welcome back to my channel English in a Blink, and today I want to ask you a question. Well, have you ever wondered when exactly is it that you have to say may and when is it that you have to use your might? When is it that you have to use less and when is it that you have to use your fewer? If yes is the answer, then this lesson is for you because today I'm going to look at 10 common grammatical mistakes that people tend to make because they are confused. So your confusion ends today. Without wasting time, let's go. All right, so starting with may versus might. It's like it says, deciding when to use may rather than might. It can be a little bit tricky, guys, because the difference between two of them, it's quite small. They both indicate that something is possible, but might suggest slightly more uncertainty than may. Okay, so like here, I might take a trip to Japan next year. That means that maybe you will go to Japan, maybe you won't. All right, uncertain. Over here, I may have some pudding after dinner, which expresses slightly more certainty that probably you are going to eat that pudding. Okay, so in terms of might, it is less sure, and may, it's a little bit more. Okay, so when you say I might, so then maybe not. When you're saying that I may have some puddings, then it's more certain that you are going to eat. Okay, then another thing is it's even more confusing because the rule is that may and might. So might is the past of may. So in the present, you would say he may eat the last chocolate. But in the past, this sentence would become he might have eaten the last chocolate. Okay, so guys, always remember, so when you're using them, so may is the present, but if you have to think of what is the past for may, that is your might. Okay, and then might is a little bit more uncertain and may is a little slightly more certain. All right, moving on to the next one, which is our fewer versus less. So now this one is actually, this mistake is very difficult for both English language learners and also, native speakers. It's difficult for both. Now starting with fewer, both fewer and less, they describe the opposite of more. One thing that you have to pay attention is you need to look at the noun in order to decide which word to use. And what do I mean by that? So looking at your fewer is used for countable noun, people. Okay, so things that you can count. So those things like books, cars, people, or cups. All right, so things that you can count. So basically, if you can put a number before that, so 2 books, 10 cars, 100 people, 5 cups, then the noun is countable. And when it is countable, you can use your fewer. Okay, so countable is your fewer. And what is countable? Things that you can just place number before. So there were 2 books, 10 cars, 100 people, 5 cups, 5 mugs, 6 tables. Okay, so all these things are countable and you can use your fewer with it. Now moving on to your less on the other hand is used for uncountable nouns like love, water, electricity, or science. If you can't make the noun plural, then it is uncountable. So for example, you would say this parking lot is too crowded. I wish there were fewer cars. Okay, so but I wish you could turn off the lights so we could use less electricity. All right, so like as you can see here, fewer cars, that means you can count your cars, and electricity, uncountable. Okay, so things that we can count, put a number before them, fewer, things that we cannot count, less. Okay, now coming on to could, should, or would. Now they are very similar, all right? They're very similar sounding as well, and they can cause problems to English language learners and sometimes to native speakers as well. So should, so starting with should is used to give advice. That skirt looks great on you. I think you should buy it. Okay, or if I see you coughing and you have cough, cold, everything, what would I say? You should see a doctor. So remember, you use your should to give your advice. Then we have would. Would is used to describe unlikely or unreal situations. Okay, so I would love to go to France, but I don't have enough money. Or she would come to the party if she didn't have to wake up early tomorrow. So this is also conditionals. If you haven't seen my conditional video, if you don't know what conditions are, go watch it. But like it says, if you have something which is unlikely, unreal situations, that when you can use your would. So like it says here, she would come to the party if she didn't have to wake up early tomorrow. And would can also be used to make polite offers. Would you like some coffee? Yes, please. No, thank you, whatever you feel like. All right. So would, talking about unlikely, unreal situations, and also making polite offers. Then we have our could. So lastly, could can be used in three different ways. First, to describe a past ability. So when I was younger, I could swim. That is your past ability, something that you cannot do now, but you were able to do before. Second, to describe possibilities in the future. If we work really hard, I think we could save up enough money for vacations this year. Okay, so then you can use your could to describe possibility in future. So if we work hard, I think we could save up enough money. And then you also use your could to make polite request. Could I have a cup of coffee? Okay, so you see, this one is like an offer. Would you like some coffee? And this one, I'm asking, could I have a cup of coffee? Okay, so could for polite request and would for polite offers. Then we have our bring versus take. So bring and take have almost the same meaning, but they imply different directions. Now looking at our bring suggests movements towards the speaker, making it similar to come. So look here, you ask people to bring things to the place where you already are. So, okay, I'm here, all right, and I'm sitting here and I could say, bring that book over here. So let's say my daughter's standing there and I would say, oh, I want that book, which is right on that table. So I can say, oh, bring that book over here. Or please bring some drinks to the party. So I'm having a party. I call my friend. Okay, please bring some drinks to the party. Okay, so when they are coming, so they'll bring some drinks to this party. Then we have take. So take, on the other hand, suggests movement away from the speaker, making it similar to go. So you take things to the place where you are going. So you could say, don't forget to take your book to school. So let's say again, my daughter, she's leaving. All right, she's going to school. And then I see her book on the table. Oh, don't forget to take your book to school. Or please take me home. All right, so I ask someone, I'm in a party. So I'm like, okay, please take me home. I just say that to my husband. Okay, so that's how your bring and take are different. Then we have me versus myself. Okay, so deciding me, whom to use, when to use your me, and when to use your myself, that is another common mistake that, again, both native speakers and English language learners, both of them are making, okay? So now understand, people, me is an object pronoun. So it refers to the person that the action of the verb is being done to, okay? So like it says, me is an object pronoun. So it refers to the person that the action of the verb is being done to. For example, you could say, my parents want me to help with the chores more. All right, so my parents, they are the subject and I am the object. So my parents want me to help with the chores more. Or please call me when you have time. Okay, so use your me when you are at the object's position. So you use, it is like it says here, it is the object pronoun. And then myself, however, is a reflexive pronoun, just like your himself, itself, or themselves. So it's generally only used in the same sentence as I, because it is like a, reflexive pronoun. So for example, you could say, I gave myself a break from house chores today. Okay, so I gave myself. I cleaned the entire house myself. So use myself when you're doing the action to you. Okay, so that's when you use your myself, when you are doing the action to you, like it says a reflexive pronoun. Then we have there, and there. Okay, like it says, all three words are pronounced the same way, but they are used in different ways. So there can be used to specify a place. The book is over there on the table, okay? Or it can be used with the verb to be to indicate the existence of something. So there are 5 cafes on this street. Okay, so like it says, it can be used to specify a place, so the book is over there, or it can also be used with verb to be to indicate the existence of something. So that means when you're talking about, oh, there are, like there are this or there is this. So when you're talking about something existing, that's when you can use your there. So there, and always remember, in that case, it will be used with your verb to be. So there are 5 cafes on this street. Okay, so that is your there. Now moving on to the other one, there. Now this one is a possessive adjective like my, your, or his. That's their house. Okay, so again, talking about possessive. So we are saying that it's not my, it is not yours, it is their house. Okay, so this one there, T-H-E-I-R there, that means it is a possessive adjective. And then lastly, we have there, that is again a contraction for they are. So it is the subject, they, plus the verb are. For example, you could say they are going to play football with us. So this, they, apostrophe R-E, people, this is contraction for they are. They are. Okay, so do not confuse with your T-H-E-R-E, T-H-E-I-R, and T-H-E-Y, apostrophe R-E. And then the last one is your a versus the. So now this again, many languages, they don't use definite or, definite articles at all. And if you are not used to distinguish, if you don't know how to distinguish between them, then it can be a little bit tricky or it can be a little difficult at times. I understand because some, like I said, some language, they don't actually have definite or indefinite articles. So I understand the problem, but let's see. I'll try to make it easy for you. Okay, so looking at this one, when you're talking about one thing in general way, use indefinite article a. But if you are talking about something everyone in the conversation is familiar with, or the writer and the reader, if you're writing, then use the. So let's say you've used this for the first time in the conversation, use a. But then everybody knows about the subject, what you're talking about, then you use your the. So with example, if I say, let's watch a movie, okay, that means I'm suggesting let's just watch any movie, okay? And we don't know which movie we want to watch. That's when you use your a, okay? And like I said, we don't know which one we're going to watch. However, if I say, let's watch the movie, now this means I'm referring to a specific movie that you and I have already talked about. Okay, so we were having a conversation and there's this new movie in the cinema and we said, oh, I heard really good reviews, I heard someone went and she said, oh, it's brilliant. So we know, both of us, okay, that which movie you're talking about. So then we'll say, oh, let's watch the movie. Okay, if it's used for the first time, let's say the topic, if we know, like people who are in that conversation, then you can use your the. Okay, so that is how you use your and the. All right, so that brings us to the end of this lesson, and I'm sure you're not going to make these mistakes anymore, and you will know when to say might and when to use your may. If you like the video, don't forget to like and press the subscribe button. Until we meet next time, bye for now.